We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Well That Effing Figures. Tonight we have Robbie and Kaylee, otherwise known as That Horror Couple, and we're going to do just that. We're going to talk about horror with these guys, maybe some wrestling.
Hell yeah.
I know he likes wrestling. I'll talk some Star Wars because Kaylee likes Star Wars, and that's awesome. So this is a good fit. So how you guys doing? Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us.
Oh,
How are you guys doing?
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, definitely. This is going to be fun. So before we get started, just let everybody know like what you do, where they can find you, and what you're into.
We are That Horror Couple on YouTube. We review horror movies. We do like horror movie trailer breakdowns, horror movie reviews. Right now, we're consistently doing weekly updates on the new Walking Dead show, The Ones Who Live. So if you're interested in that, you can click That Horror Couple on YouTube and make sure you subscribe. We're That Horror Couple on Instagram, TikTok, X, and Facebook. So definitely check us out.
We're also a couple, so we do each other.
Okay.
There you go. And they just might before the show's over.
Yeah.
Who knows? That'll get us some ratings, maybe. Get us some viewership here. That's cool.
Probably get us banned too, but
it might get us banned. But what a way to go out!
We'll definitely be famous.
Yeah. What a way to go out.
Nah, I'll be good.
Yeah. There you go. So I see a lot of Funko Pops and bats in the background. That's pretty cool.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
We love collecting Funkos.
Some of it's new, some of it's old.
Yeah.
We got the Reagan that's climbing down the stairs from Spirit last year.
Oh, cool.
It's the bobblehead.
Yeah, that was pretty rad.
This one's like a newer one that we have.
That's fairly new. I thought that's kind of cool for a bobblehead. It's upside down.
Yeah, that's creepy. Yeah.
That is cool. That is really cool.
Upside down bobblehead.
Yeah, that's kind of on the new.
Yeah, we got that last October, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, we got some Joe Bob and Darcy stuff from last driving up there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we got like a Michael Bob. Yeah.
We clicked the Michael bobbleheads.
All kinds of stuff. I must say your intro is rad though.
Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah.
I didn't even get to see any of it. I got to see you guys the whole time. That was
really?
weird.
Good to see it.
Yeah. I don't know. It was weird. That's the first time that's ever happened. I was like, are we starting? I was so confused. And then
I'm like picking my nose and stuff.
Right.
No,
I kind of lift up and let one
I'm
go.
taking screenshots.
Oh, man. That's funny. Yeah, we just got that. What did we just do that opening when we came back in January?
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
You got like some cool music. You got like 3 countdowns.
I think we have like way too many countdowns, but
I wanted it hectic, It's just
it's hectic.
all over the place.
I was preparing myself like 3 times. I was like, I'm ready now.
Yeah, just when you think it's starting, it's like, oh god damn, another countdown.
No, it was awesome.
We'll probably add to it, just keep making it crazier.
Add more countdowns.
No, I think we're good on countdowns.
Do a half an hour of countdowns and then do a half an hour show.
Yeah.
Our intro, I wrote on guitar in like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So, and everybody loves it. So
that's cool.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just repeated That Horror Couple over and over again, but everybody's like, that song's cool.
Yeah.
So we might change it, but no, not the song, but we might change the editing
Update
to
it,
it.
yeah.
But that's been our song for like 3 years now.
Yeah.
But sometimes the simplest thing is like the best way to go.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So I think I heard backstage I heard you say you're from Las Vegas, correct?
Yeah, we're in Vegas.
So have you been to Nightmare Christie's store? I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm really good
Awesome.
friends with them.
They're
Oh,
good
are
friends
you
of
really?
ours.
Cool. That's cool.
Yeah, we love going down there. They're actually doing a signing next week. Leah Voisey, who was in Terrifier 2, she was the
Okay.
Clown Cafe girl. She's
Yeah.
gonna be there, so we're gonna go
Yeah.
down there and meet her.
They also have
Oh,
Ginger
cool.
Lynn.
Ginger Lynn later in March, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm. Cool.
they're good friends of ours.
Yeah.
We were like fans of their podcast, and we heard about the store. So when we got here, we're like, we got to check out the store. I walked in, and this is during like 2020. You still had to have masks on.
Mhm.
So, oh no, 2021.
2021, I think.
Yeah, so we had masks on. Somehow the manager at the store, Brian, he recognized me and he goes, Robbie? And I don't know who this guy is. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, that horror couple, dude. And I was like, yeah. So me and him are like best buddies now.
Mhm.
We talk every day, and I go over his house and we watch wrestling. So
That's how you know you made it. He could recognize you.
but,
First recognize you at all, but then with a mask on.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
even better.
yeah, but
That's badass.
they've been good to us because
They're great.
ever since we showed up, they've been supporting us, and we were on their podcast a couple times. So
Yeah,
that was
fun.
that was kind of cool because we were like fans of theirs. So
Hmm. Yeah, she's been on here a couple times.
yeah, she's a
That's so
she's a
cool.
sweetheart. I love her. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think I've met anyone bad from the horror community yet.
Nah.
I'm sure there's got to be someone out there, but no one we've met.
We'll see how this interview goes. I don't know.
Yeah, this might be it, Colin. So
There's always a first. I mean, you know.
You might not like me in a few minutes.
we'll
No,
we'll just
for
throw
the
you
most
off. Don't
part.
worry.
I find like
For the most part, I think most people are really
most
nice
people are very
and
nice.
supportive. Yeah.
You find the occasional douche, but
Most of the time, though, I
I-
think most people are pretty nice and like they want to talk about horror movies and be supportive and be respectful. And yeah, here and there we get like weird comments that I have to, block or delete. But I don't think it's like actually people in the horror community. I think it's
Yeah,
just
no.
online troll.
my favorite. The trolls are the best though, because
What's your weirdest comment?
I'm like, where's your channel, dude? And
Yeah.
I guarantee you they don't have one. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I can't
no.
find your channel, dude. Like, where's your channel?
Half
What's
of
the
them-
what's
you go to
the
their page, they have no profile picture. They have
Right.
like 3 followers.
Yeah, they're doing that so nobody knows who they are because they
Mhm.
got the balls to say something, but they don't have the balls to tell you who they are.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. So there's some nonsense, but yeah, most people are really cool.
Mhm.
One of the nicest things that like it meant a lot to me. We just started doing this, and some girl was like in the comments was like, I was really depressed lately. I watched your video and you cheered me up. You made me laugh, and I was like, yo,
That was nice.
I didn't know I could do that with dick jokes.
Yeah.
Somehow it worked.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well, you probably
yeah.
should have left the pictures out, and then they wouldn't have laughed so hard. No more pictures. No, but so let's think. For example, like, what's the worst comment without bringing back any bad memories that you can think of that really
when they
pissed you off?
They just tear down like the way we
Our
our
looks?
looks.
Yeah, it's like random.
like your face is scarier than this movie.
Yeah,
Stuff like
it was
that. I'm like,
weird. They were very personally attacking us, so I didn't know if it was somebody that we like that knows us or this is a random person on the internet because it was like behind a fake name, so we don't
Right.
know.
That
That was probably the weirdest one. When they attacked our appearance for no reason.
No, it's funny, but like it's funny if like it's a real account. I don't know if it's somebody just giving their opinion, I'd be like, oh, that's okay.
Oh, we don't care if
Yeah.
somebody. Obviously, we want people to comment and say, "Well, we don't think that. We think this."
But
I'm like, "Oh, that's cool."
then
you
there's-
know?
Yeah.
Once in a while, you get like the know-it-all film guy that's like, dude, this is
You're wrong.
Yeah.
This is it.
this
da-da-da,
this
like,
is the director's
yeah.
4th movie, not his 5th. I'm like, oh, okay.
Right. I know.
Oh, we got some traffic here.
What's up, Millennium? Rex, what's up?
What's up, Rex?
How you doing, Rex?
Oh, Zombie Hunter's here. What's up, bud?
We got Gap After Dark here. He
Nice.
don't have a gap before dark, just after dark.
Uh,
I like that.
That's the only time that matters.
Yeah, I guess.
Isn't that's what Kiss? No, Kiss wants to party every day
mhm.
and
Yeah.
rock and roll all night.
There you go.
Yep.
Collect to disconnect is here, yo.
So
But so you're a slasher guy. You like slasher movies.
Yeah, I'm mostly. I think the cool thing about horror is like when you look at it, there's all these different branches.
Like genre, like
Yeah.
subgenres.
So like,
Yeah.
it's not just you can go down any rabbit hole you want. But I'm a slasher guy. I love the '80s, the '70s. I
I'm a
just
big Texas fan.
I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I love
Me too.
Halloween. I feel like those movies kind of changed horror forever,
Mhm.
and I feel like a lot of movies kind of followed that formula where it's like a group of kids are going off somewhere. They're going to mess around and get in trouble because
Packed up.
there's a guy that's going to cut them up, and I just love it. And then eventually there's one survivor. And
Yeah, I'm laughing because like I was just talking to my wife about this the other day. So I turn on Tubi, and every horror movie is a group of friends go here, or a group of friends go there, and then they get hunted down by a psychotic killer. But it's cool because all them low budget films, I mean, some of them are really corny, but that's what slasher movies are anyway. They're corny, but they're fun, And
I was just thinking about this earlier, like, the rest of Hollywood and stuff right now, like the movies have been pretty bad as of recent. Like they just seem to get worse and worse, but like horror has been consistent. Like there's a bad horror movie every once in a while, but I'll still watch it,
like Saw 10 I loved. I like all the
stuff. We did too.
Saw 10 was good. Like
that was one
to
of the
make
best
10 of them and still be good, that's ridiculous. I love that.
The storytelling is just it's done so well throughout those films. I think that's what makes like the torture porn aspect of it. Like people that usually don't like that will still watch Saw because the storytelling is so good.
Right.
And that's the thing, and the way that they with the last one, like you said, I feel like we still are learning about this character, John Kramer.
Even after his death.
And he was likable. He was likable. The weird part about Saw 10 was I was not rooting for anybody to get out of that trap. Because they screwed him over so bad that I wanted to see them die. I was like, but usually I'm like, oh, get out of the trap. No, not this time.
No.
And the interaction with him and that little boy, he was really sweet to that little kid too.
Exactly.
So,
yeah. And it's just good to show you, like all the prior movies, I was also rooting for him because the people that he chose to play the game were all people who did really bad things.
Yeah.
So you kind of always root for him in my eye. I always did. I mean, it was that might sound weird, but he had people who did some terrible things, and that's the ones that he wanted to make the choice. Either get better or do this or that, whatever it was.
I was just talking about like with part 10 specifically, we found more about John Kramer the man.
That's true. Yeah,
I was upset. I was like, oh, he's finally gonna be cancer free, and no.
They got me, dude. Like I really thought it was legit. Like I said, these nurses are cool, man. They're real nice to him, and all of a sudden I'm like, shit. Well, they didn't even do anything to him.
Well, it was a prequel though, so I was like, we know he's dead, so I'm like, something's got to happen. But that's the thing, and with that writing, you would think they painted themselves into a corner because he's dead now, but they're finding ways to go back now and like kind of be creative with it. So it's super cool, And Saw 10 definitely one of the best. I love it. So
yeah, me too. I agree.
I even like the ones that people were hating on. Like I didn't think they were bad. I just thought they weren't as good as the others. But
but I've enjoyed them all. I think. I mean, I can't remember one that I was like, oh shit, that was a waste of time. Because I just think each one of them were not equally as good, but they were likable.
Yeah, I think so.
No, what was the one we?
You talking about the one with Chris Rock?
Chris Rock.
I like that one too. Even though it was technically different.
I almost said Will Smith. The other guy that smacked.
That's funny.
But I thought he played a good cop guy. I thought it was
I thought it was like a crime thriller-esque type movie. I enjoyed that one too.
I find a lot of times, like with our channel too, like it just seems like when people are hating on films, those are the films we don't mind.
It's weird,
I thought Halloween Ends. It was like
we're like the advocates for that one.
They gave us a twist, and it was unexpected, but I was okay with it. I was like, and everybody was like, worst ever, and I was like, no. I was like, I looked at it like a different way. I was like, dude, it's a story about evil taking over a soul. I'm like, that's what the original story's about. I'm like, it's kind of a neat idea that it's kind of it was unexpected, but I thought it was kind of a cool idea.
Yeah. So, how about the last Texas Chainsaw Massacre though?
We liked that one, the one on Netflix.
I thought it was okay.
I like
thought it
the
was-
scene
I thought
where
it
he's
was-
in the bus. Like
that's the one I
that
really
scene is
didn't.
crazy. Like
Yeah, that scene was crazy,
Oh,
but I was
Is
like,
that where he's live on Instagram or something?
yeah, and
Mhm.
he's got everybody's stuck in there, and he's got the chainsaw just going like crazy, dude.
I mean, I know you got to go with the times and all, but like the whole Instagram thing kind of like blew my mind. Like, this is not what this is. It's supposed to
Yeah.
be.
What was the
whatever,
line though? He's like, bro, you're gonna get canceled for this.
Yeah.
but-
I didn't like any of like the characters in it. I just liked the like gore and like
No, I thought
yeah, that kind of
I thought the kills were cool.
Yeah.
They kind of captured like the Texas Southern vibe, like the backwoods vibe a little bit. It's not the best Texas, but I didn't hate it or anything. But
it was fun, I thought. Yeah.
it's cool for like being on Netflix and like I'm just lazy. I don't like getting off the couch. So when something's streaming,
Me
even though I
either,
have even if I have the physical copy, I just like to click the remote. And
yeah.
It's
I'd
right
actually like to see a movie like how he ends up in this town. Like I want to see the in between there.
Yeah,
I-
that would be
Well,
interesting.
remember the after credit scene, he wound up back at his house. So I thought maybe they might
Do another one?
They might show him like in his house. Yeah, like I don't know.
Yeah, they haven't.
I don't think I even saw the after credit. Now I got to go watch that tonight.
No,
Yeah, I don't think I
they-
waited either. Like I usually just shut it right off as soon as it's done.
Which is
I'm not-
crazy
bad
because
habit.
everybody's got after credit scenes now.
Yeah, true.
I just didn't think that movie would have one. So
Yeah, it's random for that one.
One of our most viewed videos was the after credit scene for X. I thought it right.
Yeah, we like reacted to it or
oh,
something.
I love X.
We got the
Yeah,
foot.
that's such a good
We
movie.
found the footage and we just like clipped it and we just put it up and like it got like 30,000 views. We were like, whoa.
Nice.
Like when I was watching that like last week or week before, and I'm like, are we really gonna see Wednesday naked? And then we didn't. But I was like, kind of
Yeah.
like, is this about to really happen? Like, but
I
No,
didn't even know
that
what
was-
to expect the first time I watched that movie, and I was just like, "Damn, this is really good." I was like,
Dude.
what?
Yeah.
that old lady was creepy, wasn't she?
Yeah,
Like,
Pearl.
my dog was
Hey,
barking at
hey.
it. My dog don't watch TV, but he was just barking at it the whole time.
Nice, dude. What kind of dog you got?
I got 2 yellow labs, but the younger
Oh,
one,
Oh,
They're-
nice.
Yeah.
Our neighbor has a yellow lab.
They're like the friendliest dogs in the world, dude.
but the younger one was like, he usually just sits on the couch with us and watch, doesn't pay attention, but he was like really like into this old lady.
Yeah,
I'm
like-
like, dude,
I really
Like-
thought X to me it felt like
A 70s
it felt like a
slasher.
slasher that came out years ago and it was brand new and I was totally like into it and I liked Pearl also
I
and
did too, yeah.
I'm psyched for Maxine.
Mhm.
Maxine's
Mhm.
coming out and
Yeah.
A24's been kicking ass.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
you know
I
what's funny
love
about
that
X
Iron
was,
Claw.
Yeah, the Iron Claw. They did the Von Erich story.
you know what's funny about X? What's his name? The guy with the cowboy hat, the main star, the main character, whatever.
Wayne, I know the character's name is Wayne, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
the name.
Is this the
Well,
porn?
my wife's like, that's the guy from Virgin River, and I'm like, oh shit, you're right, It's him, because she watches that and I
Oh.
watch it with her. But like,
what I
Okay.
loved about that movie, like watching it the first time, is like it starts out and you're like, "All right, there's obviously something off here," and then like when she stabs that guy in the middle of the night, you're like, "Oh shit!" It's just like it's kind of like out of nowhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just love that shit.
well, he went out. He should have just stayed in the damn cabin because,
Mhm.
like, all right, so I guess Wednesday, whatever her, her real name, I forget,
Jenna
but
Ortega.
Ortega.
I call her Wednesday, but
Yeah.
yeah, Jenna Ortega. She's like doing the scene, and he gets all pissed, and he goes out there, and now he gets hacked up. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
let
No,
that be a
but, like-
lesson to you,
Yeah, but I feel like they also flipped, like, because in my head when I'm watching a slasher, I'm like, okay, this is the final girl. This is the final girl. And they flipped who I thought was going to be the final girl, and I was
Mhm.
like, oh. I was like, okay. So, like, I felt like it was kind of made for slasher fans, and they made it so it wasn't too predictable. So I thought it was very well done, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah, and also I
like-
thought like it's too predictable to have the old man or the old lady kill anybody. I thought at first, I said there must be a son or some other lunatic around that's going to do it, but nope,
Mhm.
it was them. So it was
Yeah.
kind of like, damn, I didn't expect that because I thought it was going to be something else that did it.
I liked
Yeah,
Pearl
I mean,
too, but
Pearl,
it
like,
just it felt so like the movies felt different in my in my opinion.
Mhm.
different, but very, very 70s ish. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
they said it- they
definitely,
said it good.
definitely, Yeah,
In the 70s, they did a good job with that.
Oh yeah.
Like it
So-
reminded, like I said, it reminded me just like this old school
Like
slasher.
Texas or
Yeah.
something. Things
Yeah.
on my side a little bit.
What do we
Oh.
think of Terrifier 3? Is that what that's in?
yeah. What do you
Put
think?
it back up.
They-
Fingers
cool.
McGee,
Yeah,
you click that off.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, yeah, I'm psyched.
I can't wait.
It's a Christmas film.
Yeah.
There's a Christmas scene in it. Yeah.
Yeah. So the little snippet we got was pretty interesting, and
Oh yeah.
we reacted to that on our channel. Yeah, dude. I thought Terrifier 2 was kind of extreme, and it kind of took us back to like the days that the original Exorcist was in theaters, and people were like, throwing up and running away. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't think horror could still do that, and maybe it could.
Right.
And,
I thought it was good.
I didn't care for the last 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
The movie was way too long. That's what
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Colin always say that part where they go to the shutdown
Amusement park.
Yeah,
that could have been cut out.
The magical sword part. And
Yeah,
shit,
that magical sword shit. Yeah,
I feel like they could have cut all that out. But there's like so much now that like I want to know. Like they better get to that now. Like how they relate. Like like what.
Yeah. Well,
like the father,
Is Art the Clown supernatural now? Is he?
Yeah, like.
Yeah, because there's only a head left, right? I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we just got a trailer where he's a whole person again. So is that going to be a prequel? Like.
Yeah, I don't know. That is interesting. I don't know how they're going to do that.
I always wondered, like, it was kind of weird because at first I'm thinking, is the girl's father Art because that damn sword? But I don't know because
that's kind of the way they pushed our thinking.
Yeah,
like,
it's kind of what they make you want to think. I think anyway, but
there's some connection with that family and Art. I was thinking that's So
I wonder if he's gonna.
I want a prequel now. I want to see where Art comes from or what.
That'd be cool.
Like
little Art or something. Like I want to see him like if it's a Christmas movie. I want to see him instead of a garbage bag. I want him to have a Santa sack carrying all this shit around this time.
That would be cool.
Badass.
It'll probably. I'm hoping it will take us back to like the Silent Night, Deadly Night, like when they, like when that pushed the envelope up with the Christmas film. That might be.
Yeah,
cool.
I remember seeing that Terrifier, like the picture for it, like on the streaming services for like years. It looked creepy, and I was like, just whatever. It was a clown movie. And then when 2 came out, and people were like throwing up in the theaters and all that garbage, I'm like, I gotta go watch this now.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I never even heard of it.
He saws that girl in half, and I'm like, I've been missing out on this.
Yeah.
Like, what?
It was pretty extreme, and like I could see like if you don't watch horror on a regular basis, that could really like
the average person that's not into horror.
Yeah, like that could really mess with your head. Like but it was well done, and we met Leone and we met Art, and they're really cool guys. They're Earth. It's almost like this blew up, and they were like,
surprised.
Yeah, like they weren't doing it thinking like we're gonna this is gonna be huge. I don't think that was the goal.
Yeah.
They just want to make a cool movie. And
I met the whole cast at Monster Mania, and except for the little girl, the little creepy girl, she wasn't there at the time. She was at another show, but I met the whole cast, and they were so genuine and cool. Like they were the opposite of Sting that I was telling you about behind stage. Like they weren't dicks. Like they were actually appreciative that you waited in line to get their autograph. Like Lauren was like, you guys waited in line to see me. Like that's so like humbling. It was cool to see that side of people.
Oh, I'm happy to hear she's really sweet. We didn't meet her, but we did meet little pale girl.
Yeah.
She was so sweet. Her parents were really nice.
Yeah, she was with her parents, and it was kind of cool. Her parents, we were talking with her parents, and I think it was like one of her first conventions because she was like really.
It was Days of the Dead last year in Vegas.
Yeah, she was like really into like meeting people. It was like she was like
excited.
Yeah, it was like all new to her. I could tell. So.
Yeah, I heard the little girl from Megan was cool too. She was with her parents. A buddy of mine met her. I didn't go to that Monster Mania con, but
that's a series. That's a series waiting to happen. I know there's going to be like a couple Megans coming out. Like
I didn't really care for that. The whole robotic thing was like, oh, I don't know. It's not for me. It kind of reminded me of some things like Small Wonder back in the day. I don't know if you remember that show, but you're probably too young for that. But
it wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't for me. I don't think.
Not me either.
I thought they did pretty good for what they had with PG-13 horror, though. I thought that.
I guess putting it that way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for joining us, Kevin.
Kevin?
Lakeland, Florida.
Please subscribe to us.
We got some zombie talk in the. So speaking of zombies,
Zombie Hunter,
Walking Dead.
Yeah,
I saw you guys have been watching it. I started it I actually really like the new
I
series.
literally just found out about it backstage when Colin told me.
Dude,
'cause
I didn't know
hadn't really paid
anything about it
attention.
until I was like searching around in the streaming
Yeah.
things. I saw like no advertising for it or nothing. I'm like, Rick's coming back. Like, what? And you guys did like this should have been huge.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
should. Yeah, I mean, I don't have cable, so I don't see the commercials as I used to. But I should have
There's
still
like-
heard about this. I would think, besides just 20 minutes ago. Like,
Yeah, there's
you know.
like 3 spin-offs now. There's
They did a one for Maggie and Negan. They did a Daryl one, and then they did this is the one I was most excited about, the Rick and Michonne one.
I've liked all of them so far.
Yeah,
Though.
see, like I would like the Maggie and Negan one because that's two of my favorite characters.
oh,
You know.
and
It
they're
was good.
they're
I
all-
think you guys would like it if
Yeah.
you watched it.
Oh, I
Yeah.
saw that one. That one is good. I'm Negan. I'm like Negan's my favorite character. I love
Oh,
Negan.
he's
Yeah.
cool.
I
Yeah,
do-
I
I
used
got-
to hate it.
they're
I
in the
did the
streets.
cosplay and everything. I had to.
They're in the streets of New York City
That's
too.
cool.
Oh, you cosplay as Negan?
I have, yeah.
Oh, I got to
Wow.
see pictures.
Yeah.
Where's your
I'll have to send them to you. Yeah.
Where's Lucille?
Oh, you got a Lucille?
Dude, I got like 3 Lucille's. Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
That's cool.
He's got Glenn's
I
brains.
gotta
on-
see these pictures. This is all
Yeah.
new to me. I didn't know he even cosplays as Negan. Like who
Yeah,
are
you guys-
it's been a while.
Where you
but I
guys
haven't-
from?
This is
What? Oh,
Where
I'm
you-
from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
I'm from
Okay,
Maryland.
Okay.
Oh, okay, so you go to Maryland Monster Mania. I know about
Yeah.
that one.
And well, I go to
Okay.
Cherry Hill, New Jersey one also.
No,
Okay.
That's about like maybe an hour from
I'm
me.
from New York originally, so I used to go to Monster Mania all the time. It's a
Okay.
great show, yeah.
Yeah.
But now
That's
we go
fun.
to now we have Days of the Dead coming up in
Mhm.
Vegas. So
There's actually Monster Mania is in New Jersey, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. The one I normally go to, Friday, Saturday, Sunday this week.
yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just
Oh, they-
decided not to go because I don't know that I'm into. I don't need anybody who's there, their autograph or anything. So it would be just me going to get a ticket to walk around. Basically, I don't really
Yeah.
want to do that this weekend. So I
And
just
it's so
Dude.
crowded now.
But-
the
Yeah.
convention.
There are times though, I've been to shows where I wasn't like a lot of the guest lists I already met, but like the vendors room was totally cool.
Mhm.
Like so I would just walk around and like see the figures or see the pops. and
Yeah.
see-
Oh yeah, definitely.
yeah, it's
you
fun
know-
too. But yeah, I just decided to sit this one out. But I'll probably regret it. But I don't know. We'll see.
They
I'll
got
go
one of
with
the
myself.
guy. They got one of the guys from Rancid there though,
Mhm.
and Rancid was always one of my favorite bands growing up. So I
Yeah.
was like, damn it! I was like,
Oh, they're on the East Coast. Yeah.
I was like, I would totally go to him if I was there. But
Mhm.
Do you ever come to the East Coast for anything anymore, or do you pretty much stay out?
the last 2 years I've been down here over west in Vegas. But I grew up on Long Island, and so I went to like Connecticut Horror Fest. I went to Monster Mania. I went to New Jersey HorrorCon. Stuff like that.
Yeah, cool.
So which are all good shows. Days of the Dead's pretty good though. It reminds me of like Monster Mania sort of.
Mhm.
Mhm.
A little smaller.
Yeah, it's a little smaller, which is good because,
It's not as crowded.
dude, my first convention was 2007, and you can walk around and not get like trampled. And like I just think with like the rise of social media, these things just went totally crazy. Like there were a few conventions I was at where the fire marshal had to shut them down, and because
Mhm.
there was too many people in like a little
Oh, wow.
area.
Hmm.
So.
I think also like when COVID hit, people missed it so much that now they're just even more super popular than they were before. Because people, when
Yeah.
that ended, everybody wanted to get back out, so they just wanted
I
to go.
remember that too,
Yeah.
and yeah, people were paying for photos, and they're like, "Is it going to be a mask or no mask?" And it was like a big thing, or it's like, "Are they going to be behind glass or no glass?" It was like,
Yeah, like Art
know,
the Clown with a mask on or some shit. Like,
Mhm.
you know, there were certain celebrities with like a
Yeah,
a
they put,
shield. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I know you see pictures. There's a thing in between them. I'm like, oh, come on.
Well, I even seen up to last year. I know you're in the Star Wars, so I saw pictures of people getting autographs from Katie Sackhoff, and she had a full blown like shield on, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I don't know, man. Like,
Oh.
I'm done with that. I don't know if I want to meet anybody and still have that shit on. Like, I don't know. It's just weird to me still, but
Yeah, I saw.
especially
I
now.
see pictures of like Hayden Christensen was doing it, and like, but there
Mhm.
was like a wall of glass, and I'm like, I'm not paying to take a picture with
No,
him.
no,
With, like,
fuck
I can't
that.
even touch him. Like,
You might as well just Photoshop 2 pictures together. You know,
Yeah,
that's basically what
I'm
it looks like.
I'm not doing that.
she wants to touch Hayden Christensen.
I
Well, do you
mean,
blame
any
her? I mean,
celebrity-
come on.
The,
Wait a
the
minute,
guys that know
Colin,
social-
you want to touch him too? No, I'm just kidding.
Then there's like Felissa Rose from Sleepaway Camp, who's giving everybody hugs, and
She's so
yeah,
sweet. She's the best. Yeah, she's the
Yeah.
best.
I don't know if you ever met Felissa, but she's awesome.
I haven't. No.
Oh, she's hyper. She's like
very sweet.
she has like an awesome energy, and she's giving everybody hugs and like so like there's people like that, and I understand a little bit about the fear at the time, but like
Oh yeah,
No,
yeah. At the time,
if you're gonna charge full price for something, it's like
yeah. If you're gonna wear a mask, I need half off because now my
Yeah.
picture is gonna have you with a freaking surgical mask on, and it could be anybody behind that man.
Hey, but good for them if they can charge full price and people are still going to pay it. You know, you got to look at it both ways.
Yeah.
Our rates are very affordable for selfies with people. I mean, we charge very reasonable rates, people.
Oh my god.
They even do trades. They do trades.
Yes. buy me a taco.
Yeah.
There you go. So besides, we thought we were going to talk about horror the whole time, but we found some other news out in the backstage. You like Star Wars and you like wrestling, so they're two more of my favorite things.
Oh yeah, I started watching wrestling in 1990. It was WrestleMania 6, Hogan versus the Warrior, and I was
belt for belt. Yep.
Yeah, I was about 8 years old, and I liked it ever since. And so I've been watching wrestling about 30 years, a little more than that. And yeah, I'm really into it, dude. Especially here, they got AEW Double or Nothing. They got the meet and greet. So I met Adam Cole. He was like the nicest guy ever. So
yeah,
pretty
I
cool.
heard that. Yep, that's cool. So you watch AEW more than WWE? No?
I watch everything.
You watch
it all. How about Impact?
Yeah,
you watch that too?
So what's that?
Impact.
Oh yeah, no, I went to Impact.
Nobody watches Impact. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
Rob does sometimes.
They changed their name back to TNA, but
yes,
they were here in Samstown, or
they're at one of the casinos
here.
We went with Brian. And
yeah, I went with Brian from Nightmare Toys, and
his wife.
Yeah, so I saw it live. It was a pretty good show, but it also had like an indie feel. It wasn't like the biggest show, which was cool, and so that kind of made me want to start watching TNA again. So
then they released Scott D'Amore too. So like after all he's done for that company, they released it. Well, they fired him or whatever. The guy who was running it.
I'm blocked on Instagram.
They blocked him. We don't know why.
I don't know why. The TNA blocked me on Instagram. And
really?
For like years.
Yeah,
dude, we've got a badass on our show today.
Yeah, that's a badge of honor.
I'm an outlaw. I'm an outlaw.
Yeah.
You got to put that on a T-shirt or something.
I need to keep him around. That way I won't look so bad.
No.
I'm a co-host. I'm on the show now.
Yeah, we got an opening, you know.
No, yeah, I love wrestling though, and I'm getting Kaylee into it kind of, but like there's a little something for everybody with wrestling, with the storylines. There's comedy with R-Truth and stuff.
I love R-Truth. He's the best.
R-Truth,
there's comedy, there's drama, there's like mystery behind certain storylines. There's something. I think it's like it's like an art form, wrestling. It's like a movie.
Did you see? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just agreeing with him. Yeah.
Did you see the new vignettes where Bray Wyatt's brother Bo Dallas is starting to bring this faction back together? The Wyatt Six, it looks like.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Yeah, because I think the original plans was for Bray to meet up with his brother, and unfortunately that's not going to happen. But but I think it's a good way to honor like the character or like the faction at least, because it was a cool faction.
Yeah, he's my favorite. Like, dude, today's stars. He was my favorite. I was so bad
young too, man. That's crazy.
He died out of nowhere. It was like a shock. I thought it was like a mistake when I saw it online. I was like, what?
Yeah, I thought they was like fucking with us or something. But I like him so much, man. He was so awesome. Like his music, his character. I even did we had a WrestleMania watch along party, and I used his music, and I came in with the lantern and all this shit.
That's cool.
I miss him, man.
He could be dark but he also had the Firefly fun house, and it was totally entertaining and silly and funny, and he had like very good range, and I think it comes from just him knowing the wrestling business so well. With like his father's the IRS, like his uncle is Barry. His uncle is Barry Windham. Like he knows, like it's in his DNA, man. Like,
for sure.
Yeah.
He just loves wrestling, and it shows. The guy you know, he didn't have the traditional look, especially when I don't know if you saw him when he was Husky Harris. Like,
Oh yeah, that was
you looked at him as Husky Harris, you didn't think that guy would go anywhere, and like
no, not at all.
he brought us in with his promo ability, his mic ability, like he's really good on the mic, and you know.
Yeah, I didn't watch a ton of wrestling from 09 to 14, but my buddy called me. He's like, "Have you seen the new Wyatt family?" This was like 13 or 14, 2014 maybe. And I was like, "No." He said, "Put it on and check it out." And that's when I went back to watching it full time again. I was watching it here and there between 09 and 14. But
I haven't watched wrestling since like 2002.
Oh, like the Attitude Era.
Yeah, I love it back then, dude.
I didn't like the ruthless aggression area. That's why I stopped watching. I missed a lot of that CM Punk stuff when he was first there. I missed a lot. I tuned in, but I got little bits and pieces. But
yeah, I watched it even when it was like basically unwatchable.
Yeah.
I mean, because I felt like for a while, like with Cena, I like Cena, but like with Cena on top, it was like geared for kids. And
yeah, I could just never take him seriously, man.
I never really cared for him either. As
but like
anyway.
As a human being, like he's meeting like Make-A-Wish kids and he's doing all.
Oh yeah.
I think as a human being, he's amazing. Like,
I love him as Peacemaker. As Peacemaker, he's awesome. I love him as Peacemaker, and like you said, as you know, he done like all the extra shit he does. He's a good ass dude. As a wrestler, no.
As a wrestler, I couldn't get into his character too much and why everybody thought he was.
They kept him on top for too long. I thought he was like 10 years. He was the face of the company. I feel like that's too long. It's just
kind of like force fed us too, you know.
Yeah. So when CM Punk came in, he was kind of like the counterpoint to that. He was kind of like the guy with tattoos, not the pretty boy. He was kind of like. So I like the rivalry between Punk and Cena. I thought that was good, and you know, so I thought that was pretty cool. But I think WWE's getting pretty good again. I really think. With Triple H in charge, I think it's.
I think
like
they're doing better.
Yeah, Triple H in charge, Vince in trouble with the law. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah,
sounds more like my time. No. I missed the 80s and 90s. Like, dude, I missed DX. I missed Mankind and Mr. Sacco. I love that shit, dude.
It's like they don't know how to tell a story. WWE is doing a good job, but AEW does not know how to tell a story. So like it's very simple too. Like if you think back, one of the biggest feuds in wrestling history was the Iron Sheik and Sergeant Slaughter. And that feud started by one was walking to the ring and one was walking away from the ring, and neither one of them wanted to move out of each other's way. And that was the start of their feud that lasted 25 years.
Exactly, yeah.
But just something simple like that.
One good thing they're doing, though, that I thought was like, I didn't think they could do it nowadays, was have Roman have the belt for like 3 years. With the attention span of people nowadays, I didn't think that would work at all. And that was something you saw in like the Bruno Sammartino days or something. Like they had Roman hold this belt for like 3 days. She's about to beat Hogan's record. Yep. So I'm like, you know, at this day and age, that's pretty. That's cool they pulled it off. But I think the Bloodline's a cool faction. I like the Bloodline.
Yeah. Like, I think they did a good job letting him hold it. If you're going to make somebody hold the belt that long, you had to have a really good story, and they've done it.
The best thing they did was turn him heel and give him with Heyman. I thought that was the best thing. Because him as a babyface, I couldn't do it. I was like,
terrible.
No, he was getting booed every night, and they kept on like hoping to change it. But you put him with Paul Heyman.
That was McMahon. He wanted that long-haired, big heavyweight champion, and then nobody really wanted him at the time.
Oh, McMahon wanted a lot of things, you know.
Yeah. Sounds like he got a lot of things too.
Yeah, he got a lot of things too. It sounds like.
Some he took, some he was given. I don't know, but
I don't know.
It's a piece of work, but
I don't want to let that affect my. You know, wrestling's a big part of my childhood, so I even though I think Vince is like really shitty for what he did, I'm not gonna let it affect like how I feel about the business. You know, like I don't want. I'm not gonna let him represent, you know, my love for wrestling. You know,
I mean, honestly, without him, a lot of this would have never happened.
If I let actors' personal lives affect my movie love, I wouldn't love movies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know, you gotta like kind of separate the two.
He took it national because it was territory, and then he took it national. So
yeah.
He like that changed the whole. That was a game changer for everything.
Well, my favorite part of WWE or WWF, what do you want to call it back then, was, I mean, it was in his control.
Yep.
Oh, like the golden era with like you were talking about like Macho Man and Hogan.
Yeah, that was some good times, man. Saturday night's main event.
Yeah.
And then like every time they had a Saturday night's main event and Hogan was defending the belt, I was always like, is this going to be the night he loses it? And then he never loses it. Like, it's just like he held that belt for so long.
Yeah, it was 3 years.
Do you think they're going to let Roman break it, or do you think Cody's got it this time?
Well, that's what's for him to break the record. I think he has to hold it to like after SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he has to win it. Like he has to hold on to it after SummerSlam. So unless they like screw Cody, but I don't know how they're gonna screw Cody over at WrestleMania again. And then
I'm hoping.
I could see it happening though. I could see.
I wouldn't be mad if they did it.
No, I wouldn't be mad, but I'm like, will they do it? I'm like,
because I don't know. Like, if so, here's the thing. Like, if they could either let Cody win it, and then Orton come in to congratulate him the next night on Raw, and turn on him, and that's the new feud: Orton versus Rhodes, which would be cool because then that would make room for Rock and Roman to start their feud with no belt involved. Or they can screw Cody over again. But then you got to drag this feud on until SummerSlam. And then Cody would have to win it either at SummerSlam or at a random show at Madison Square Garden, because that's where Dusty held the belt up and it was taken from him back in the day. So it's kind of like they can do it a few different ways, but I'm kind of just done with it. I want Cody to win so he can move on with his feud with Orton, because I think that's what's going to happen.
It's all coming. Like, this is WrestleMania 40. It's a big buildup. I just don't know if they're going to – I don't know, but – I think they want Hogan's record to get beat though too at the same time. So I don't know how they're going to do this.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what they're striving for, but I mean, they got to realize like Hogan was a big part of why it is what it is. You know, like this is he's the reason why wrestling's this big. Him and McMahon, honestly, like. So I don't know. I mean, yes, he said some things, but like, who doesn't say things? You know, and I don't know. You can't hold things against people and want to get erased them from history just because they've done something that made a mistake, you know?
Oh no, I think that's over with now. I think Hogan's back in the Hall of Fame and all that. So.
I just didn't know if they were holding a grudge on that still or not, but it's one of those things. You never know.
Yeah. If he's not on the active roster, I don't think they have to worry about it. So.
Yeah. Paul Heyman's the only one they really announced for the Hall of Fame so far, correct?
Oh, well deserved too, because I was a huge ECW guy back in the late 90s. And Paul, he's a wrestling genius. Like, he just knows the business so well. Like, he did a lot for the business. I think that he's a good choice. So
I remember when he was in the old NWA, it was Jim Cornette and the Midnight Express.
Oh, wow. Really?
And then Paul E came in with another Midnight Express. So they had two Midnight Expresses fighting each other. And then they had the Rock and Roll Express. But so, yeah.
Well, the first time I think you've been watching a little. That's before I found out about him, because I remember he was Paul E Dangerously in WCW.
He was Paul. Yeah, he was Paul E Dangerously back when I'm talking too. So him and Cornette had their feud going on.
Yeah.
But they each had the real Midnight Express against the Midnight Express, and they had it was cool to see.
You listen to Cornette's podcast at all?
Yeah, I do. He's an angry bastard, ain't he?
I love it.
I do too. Yeah, I listen to him almost every day. Yeah.
He hates the Young Bucks, and it's funny.
I know. He hates AEW, period, I think.
He calls them the Buckaroos.
Yeah.
He's funny. He just tells it like it is. I don't know.
He does. I kind of agree with a lot, but sometimes he does go overboard. But I enjoy him. I always did.
He's been pretty funny with this whole McMahon scandal thing too. Like, the stuff he's been saying, it's just been making me laugh.
Yeah, he's always been so excitable too. Like, I'm surprised he hasn't had a stroke. Like, that guy's always been wound up, man. Even back in the day when he had his little tennis racket running around, and I remember when the Midnight Express were on a scaffold match against the Road Warriors.
No,
Starrcade '86. Have you watched that?
Cornette broke his leg
when he fell. Yeah. I watched that like around the time it came out, because obviously there was no pay-per-view back then.
No, I
It
had it
just started.
I had it on
maybe, like-
VHS tape. I remember.
Yeah, yeah, that's where I had it, on a VHS tape. But I remember that was you couldn't even do that kind of match now. I mean, you were on a scaffold with like no protection under you. I don't even know what they were thinking. Like,
No, dude, and to be honest, they really couldn't do much when they were up there. Like it
No.
was mostly just like
they were busy.
Like-
They were pretty much just creeping around, because I think they were all scared of heights. I mean, I'd be up there shitting myself.
Well, I just
I'm not gonna
watched.
do that.
I just watched that match with Mankind and Undertaker
Mhm.
from the cage match. I forgot what it's called.
Yeah,
the Hell in a Cell?
the Hell
Yeah,
in a
dude,
Cell. That
and
wasn't even supposed to happen.
Undertaker throws Mankind off the fucking top of the. I'm like, holy shit, dude!
Well,
And
that
then
was supposed to happen. But the one
Mankind
where he-
wrestling like broken bones and shit.
yeah,
dude, like,
that one was supposed to happen. But the one he choke slammed them through the cage.
oh yeah, I know. Yeah,
that was a mistake.
but that shit's crazy, dude.
dude,
Like
he finished the match. I don't even understand.
he
how-
came out later too and like interfered with somebody.
Dude,
like,
he had a tooth through his nose.
yeah,
like, through
that
his
shit
nostril.
was fucking nuts.
Yeah.
No, because he said previously. I think he said this previously. It was Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, and Shawn Michaels is like so athletic and all that. He's like, I can't do what he does. So he's like, I was talking to Terry Funk, and he's like, I'll start the match on top of the cage. And he just like jumped off the cage to a table, and I was.
They do some crazy stuff.
That was his way of like stealing the show, but I was like, dude, you could have died. Remember Jim Ross? He's like, oh my god, he's dead.
Yeah.
But dude, it was like crazy because like Undertaker just grabs him and just like spins and throws him. Like I'm like, you didn't even line him up, dude? Like what? That was nuts.
And all this happened, like, what was it? Was it shortly after like Owen Hart fell from the rafters?
It might have. It was late '90s, but I remember during that time. Well, in my opinion, I thought that was the reason why WWE won that war against WCW, because the Monday Night Wars were going on, and WCW had nobody on their roster that could have done that. Nobody, because they had like the older people in the NWO and Hogan and Sapp. Nobody was going to do that. So I felt like that kind of turned the tide a little bit, putting WWE back on top a little bit, when they were feuding with each other. So
yeah. So Cactus Jack, that's Mick Foley, that's Mankind. He's all one guy.
Yeah.
But I remember when he was in WCW as Cactus Jack only. And
he's signing here next month in Vegas with Sting.
is he?
Yeah, April 7th.
Oh, I'd love to meet him, dude. He was.
Yeah, I met him a couple of times. He's very nice, but hoping he drive me.
Yeah,
He has a hard time getting around. I can tell you. Well, I know why. He's been thrown off cages and shit.
Yeah.
But
His back's
he's
bad.
put his body through hell.
His back's bad. His leg's bad. I had a bad leg too. And when I met him, I was limping, and he goes, "I know what that's like." He told me because he has injuries all over him. Yeah.
You're lucky. He said you're lucky he didn't say, "You're making fun of me, boy," and start headlocking you or some shit.
That's one guy that really did
Give you a
give it
mandible
all.
claw or some shit.
He gave it all, man.
Yeah, he did.
Nah, he's a really nice guy. But thanks for warning me about Sting. I hope it goes well because I'm meeting him too. So
hopefully it was just a one and done. But I don't know.
Yeah, you never know. It might be the best meeting you ever had. Who knows?
Maybe. Like
I'll
I've heard
let you know
the same
about it,
from
though.
other people, but then again, like, maybe he's changed now that he's retired. He's happier. I don't know.
I'll ask him. I'll be like, "Why were you addicted to Joe?" That's not
Yeah.
cool.
Why were you addicted to Joe in Baltimore, Maryland? Tell me.
Yeah, dude. Start it with that. Can someone record that too? I'd love to see that.
Yeah,
I can say,
imagine,
I'll send you the picture of me and him. You say, "Why were you addicted to him?"
Dude, that would be fucking hilarious.
That would be, wouldn't it?
Yo, Sting, what's your problem?
One more match.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna do it, Joe. I was just kidding. Do you remember how much he was offhand? I'm just trying to like budget everything.
I think he was like $100, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
he might be. Yeah,
Something like that.
Yeah.
$100 and you're a dick to me. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm very nice for $100. I will say.
That's what she told me. But
Man, you
Yeah.
gotta be nice to your fans. You're nothing without your fans. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. I mean, I guess it's
Yeah.
one thing if he's like, he's playing a bad guy or something, he's being a dick to you. But even then, like, come on.
You see
Yeah, I mean,
MJF. You see MJF like totally be a dick to everybody at the signing. So
yeah, and that would be okay because
Yeah.
that's cool.
You're expecting that,
yeah.
like, I mean, that
Like
makes
Sting,
sense.
I'm a big fan. I've been a fan since like the 80s. He's like, oh yeah,
Dude, I don't think there's
and then he
one
takes the picture and he's
person.
out of there.
I don't think there's one person, wrestling person that hasn't Sting hasn't been their favorite wrestler at one time. You know, like
Oh yeah.
I remember having they were like stuffed animal or no, whatever you call them. You know,
the
they're like,
buddies, the wrestling
yeah, the
buddies.
buddies. You know, the
Yeah.
wrestling buddies. I remember having that one of Sting. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, dude, he was a big part of my wrestling.
Yeah.
Well, for me, he was the Hulk Hogan at WCW. That like he with the blonde hair and like he was the top guy.
Yeah.
Besides Flair, yeah.
Flair was the heel though a lot of times.
Yeah, true.
The baby face was Sting. So yeah.
Yeah, that was the days, man. They had Lex Luger, you had Sting, you had Flair. NWA, WCW back then was pretty damn good.
Oh yeah.
And then when they got, I think once they went too far with the NWO, like they started having like the NWO black and white, the black and red, the green and purple. They had too many NWOs going on. Every week they had a new member. I was like, this is getting out of hand.
Yeah. It ran its course and they just didn't change it up. And I feel like that's what AEW is doing now. They got to do something like.
Yeah, they definitely need a writer or something.
Yeah. There's certain storylines. I'm like, I could have wrote that better. I'm like, come on.
I mean, because they, like you said backstage, they just have like somebody, Joe Schmo versus this guy, and what's the story? Well, they're just going to have a match. Ding, ding, ding. Like that's it. You know?
I love the Adam Cole MJF promos was awesome, and it was a good build-up. But I was like, I could see this coming from a mile away. I knew Cole was going to turn on him. Like, so I was expecting like a twist. I'm like, they're gonna twist it. I'm like, because it's too predictable, and they didn't. It was just Cole, and I'm like,
here's the most unbelievable part of it. So, all this talk about the devil, right? And then the devil appears. It's Adam Cole, and then that's it. You got so Adam Cole's still hurt, right? And then you got MJF. He's hurt. So neither one of them are on TV. So now 8 months down the line, they're going to rekindle this feud. And I'm like, well, now I forgot what happened.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yo, we got some Shockmaster love in the chat.
Yeah, I had to bring that one up.
Yeah, that was funny as hell, man.
Yo,
with the Stormtrooper helmet.
Oh, he fell through the wall, dude. That was great. Oh, dude, there's a Shockmaster figure actually. And speaking of figures, you guys are all about the figures. There's a Shockmaster wrestling figure, but it's like totally rare and out of print. But like I saw it at some collector store. I think it was over $100, but I was like, dude, that's rad. Like
that'd be a good one to have.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because that was his one and only appearance.
It was like the worst debut ever.
Yeah,
right.
And they did like a Tony Khan debut, this big debut, and then you never seen him again. Just like Miro and all them guys.
It was a Stormtrooper helmet, and they put glitter on it.
They bedazzled it. Yeah.
Then when they announced him, he was supposed to break through the wall, and he broke through the wall and fell on his face. and the Stormtrooper helmet went rolling. And he had to pick it up and put it back on him. And then he was like, "I'm the Shock."
And then he was like nothing happened. Like, dude,
that's awful.
We saw it's you, Typhoon. We already know who you are.
It was Tugboat. It was
Tugboat. Yeah, Tugboat.
Well, that's a well at Effing Figures moment right there. That should be in our intro.
That should.
Yo, that'd be you should do that.
We put the little Stormtrooper guy falling in. Oh man, that was a mess, dude. I remember. You might not remember this. I hope you do. Do you remember when Kevin Nash was Oz?
Yeah, he had the green cape.
He painted himself green with the green spiky hair, and he came out. And I think that only lasted like one day.
It was a terrible gimmick, yeah.
Because shortly after that, Dustin Rhodes got tired of being Goldust, and he went over to WCW, and they called him Platinum. And he came out once, and he was like, you know what? This is bullshit. I'm not doing this. Right on TV, he did that, and he quit right then and there. The first time he ever came out, he was like, this is bullshit. I left the other organization, so I didn't have to do this. And now you got me coming out here painted silver. It was so funny. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, it was.
He was also Kevin. Yeah, he was Vinny Vegas also.
Yeah, Vinny Vegas.
Yep. We met him. He was a very nice guy to Kaylee. Remember? He was
Vinny Vegas actually left. Stuck around for a little bit because he had Diamond Dallas Page with him, I think.
And Scott Hall was the Diamond Stud before.
The Diamond Stud, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, some of that shit, man.
We're talking old school.
Oh, there. Rex said he'll glitter a Stormtrooper helmet for us.
Oh yeah, he makes Stormtrooper helmets, so he can glitter. He could bedazzle one for you.
Kaylee could talk Star Wars.
He made that.
Yeah.
He made this Predator helmet right here for me.
Oh,
I might have to have Kaylee on my other show.
Yeah,
She likes
I
Star
love-
Wars that much. We'll have to
Yes,
work it out.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Do you got a wrestling show?
No, but I could make
You
one.
used to.
I used to, honestly. I used to.
Yeah, because I feel like there's a crossover with horror and wrestling though. Because every time I go to a horror convention, there's usually one or two wrestlers there sometimes.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a crossover.
There's always a bunch of like big sweaty guys too with like wrestling T-shirts on at them horror shows. You know.
Yeah, Joe's.
I'm not.
There's
that
also
big,
been
I'm just
wrestlers.
kidding.
There's also been wrestlers in horror movies like
Diamond Dallas Page and Rob Zombie.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. There's Roddy Piper was in They Live.
Kane did See No Evil and See No
Well, what's his name was in Terrifier too, wasn't he?
Chris Jericho.
Yeah, Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Only at the very end, wasn't it? Like
I think isn't he
Yeah.
supposed to be in the third one?
I think so.
I think he's in the third one too.
He did the after credits scene on Terrifier
The
2.
CM Punk movie we watched, we liked. What horror movie was that? Did we do a review
yeah.
for it? It's been a couple years. I don't remember.
No, he was in
It was something. I don't even
It was
remember
with
the name. I can't remember now.
No, it was with with that blonde from the 80s.
Barbara Crampton.
Barbara Crampton.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Jacob's
Jacob's
wife.
wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
there
okay. Huh.
Well,
Pretty good movie.
WWE they've produced some horror movies, haven't they? That one with
you go.
Kane,
They produced See
Yeah,
No Evil,
Kane,
didn't
yeah.
they?
See No Evil or whatever.
Yep.
What's the mirror one? Oculus.
Oh, did they produce that one?
Yeah, that was
Because I've watched a few movies where I've seen it pop up in the beginning. I'm like, oh shit! Like, so yeah, you're definitely right. There is some crossover with
Yeah.
horror and wrestling.
Yeah. Because I'm always like, when I go to horror conventions, I'm like, I look at the guest list hoping to see a few wrestlers,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
and about half the time there is one or two. So
Yeah, I think the Undertaker was at Monster Mania last year or year before, if I'm not mistaken.
That's
his
so cool.
his line must have been sick, dude.
Probably.
That makes
yeah.
yeah, I could see that though. Like Undertaker being
Yeah.
at a horror convention,
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense. I would
yeah.
love to meet him too. That's
Me
another
too.
one I would
Yeah,
love
that
to
would be
meet.
cool.
The gimmick works. So, yeah, the gimmick crosses over for sure.
Oh yeah.
Dude, he's one of them ones that like WCW told him that he would never be a big star
Yeah,
because he was just Mean Mark Calloway. Like that's the best you could come up with. Mean Mark, come on! Like look what WWE did for him. Like, and I'll be honest, when Brother Love first walked him out at the Survivor Series, I was like, oh shit, this ain't gonna last long.
Anybody
And
else?
I was wrong.
I felt like with anybody else, that character would have died in like a year.
Mhm.
It really would have. Like I thought, like he kept it going. Well, he was very good at reinventing himself too. He was the American Badass. He was, I thought that match he did in the recent years with AJ Styles, that brawl he did, that was like,
yes,
it was edited like a movie. I thought that was dope.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he was just good at like just recreating his character, like different forms of his character to keep it fresh.
He was. But if he never made that jump to WWE, he would have never. I don't know what would have happened.
Yeah,
he would have just been mean Mark walking the top rope, and that's all he really had. So they did.
WCW didn't really do like out there gimmicks back then. Everybody was like, they never really like did like out there gimmicks, and Vince always did that. So I feel like that's what happened.
I always was drawn to WWF because it was like edgier. It was like I don't know.
It's kind of funny, like when you think about it. Like I've talked about this before. Like so, you have somebody in WWE, like for instance, Edge, right? And he's been there so many years, probably 20 years, I guess, whatever it is, 25 years, and then he goes to AEW. And he's just Adam Copeland. Like they did keep the rated R superstar part, but like it never correlates right for me. Like he's Edge, but he obviously not allowed to use that name over there. So now they have to use their real name.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know. It never works out quite too good for me, like to when they jump there. Because they always have to change it to something very generic. And like Daniel Bryan rolls off the tongue way better than Bryan Danielson.
Yeah.
I know that's his real name, but doesn't
He
work
was
as well.
in Ring of Honor. He was Bryan Danielson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it was like that. He kind of just went back to his old name.
Yeah, that's his real name, but it was just easier to say Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
And I think the other night didn't Renee Paquette say Daniel Bryan when she was interviewing him or something? I heard.
Oh, she might have. Mrs.
She
Moxley.
fucked up. Yeah, I think she did.
Dude, we were leaving. We went to a wrestling event here, and we were leaving. We were at a red light, like going home. I look over. There's John Moxley
driving a big truck.
There's Moxley and Renee
wife,
at the
yeah.
same light, and I'm like,
nice.
dude. I was like, dude. And then he looks at me, and just goes.
Yeah. Yeah, years ago, I was leaving a wrestling event in Philly, and I got on I-95 to go home, and I looked over, and it was a car flying. I'm looking over, and it was like the Road Dogg X-Pac in the car going.
Dude, that would have been awesome, man.
They were getting like off the exit to go like west, I guess, maybe into like towards the Ohio area or whatever. So that was cool to see. Yeah, I
DX,
been like
my DX action figures are the only wrestling figures I have out in my house. Is all the DX ones I have.
I still have all mine. They're just in a box waiting for.
I fucking loved DX, man. That was my shit.
Waiting for a certain unnamed person to come buy them.
Oh, you gonna sell them?
Yeah, I'm selling them all.
Oh, they're probably worth some money now.
Well, I mean, some of them. I mean, I'm not trying to get a whole lot of money for them, but
what's the most? What do you mostly collect these days? Like in your collection?
For me, it's like all Star Wars and horror. So like I do Hot Toys and like custom helmets like that Rex Millennium Workshop makes, and I think I bought 2 from him now. He does a great job. And then mostly Star Wars and horror. I just kind of narrowed things down, even though I like wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't. I kept seeing like, all right, so all these wrestling figures come out, and then like 2 weeks later they're on clearance. So I'm like, what's the, I don't know. I guess the fun was taken away from getting them from me.
Yeah, I miss the hunt sometimes.
Yeah. I guess like there was.
Dude, I feel that way about movies because like back in the day, like when I went to horror conventions, I would go to the vendor's room, and they would have these out of print slashers like on like burnt disc, and I'm like, oh, that's rad because I can't find this anywhere. Now with streaming, it's like so like accessible to people, and like and part of me is like, okay, I understand this is cooler, especially with like like Shout Factory putting out everything. But I miss the days when like it was like rare to find something like a movie and be like, yo, I got it, dude, I finally got it. Like I remember like all the time on Daily Nights, the sequels were hard to find, and I finally tracked down like all 5 of them, and I was like, dude. Yeah.
Well, like me and Colin talk about on the show sometime, like some people will never get the feeling of going to the Blockbuster video and they're out of the show of the movie you want to watch. Like it's not there.
Yeah.
That's real. Like we couldn't just pop it on before. Like I would walk into Blockbuster and look for a movie, and I'm like, shit, that lady just took it before me. Get her,
And then you would see someone return something, you'd run over there to go see if it was one of the ones you.
Did you ever notice in the video store days too, especially with the little mom and pop video stores, the wrestling section was always right next to the horror section. Like it was always like that. Like they had wrestling and horror like in the same aisle, and it was even as a kid, I would always like be fascinated by the artwork of like the big box VHSs. And I remember that the Hellraiser, like that's a cool cover.
I remember that from childhood. I remember seeing it. It scared me. Like the
dude, the chains and shit. I just hear that sound and it's creepy as hell.
But you know what? Like right now, you can go stream. Like you want to watch Texas Chainsaw, right? You can go stream it. So before, like if I wanted to go get that from the movie store and it was out, sometimes I found something else that I would have never even looked for.
Yeah.
As a second choice that night, and now I found something else that I liked. So, in that aspect, it was pretty cool.
You would have to track down if the people returned it yet.
Yeah, you'd be calling Blockbuster. Hell yeah!
And then they all had that little curtain area in the back for all the porn. And then as a kid, you go peek back there, and then they slap you. So you can't go back there, kid.
How about setting up like 2 VCRs so you could totally like copy movies back then?
Oh yeah.
And then the worst part was rewinding it. And like nobody will ever know now if they weren't alive back then, like what struggle it was to have to
Dude.
rewind the shit, or else they're gonna charge you for not
They
rewinding
charge.
it.
I was gonna say they
Yeah.
charge you extra for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well, that's why when people see the Be Kind rewind shit on like T-shirts and stuff, they probably have no clue what
They're
what
like,
that
what the
is.
hell's that?
Yeah. Kids
Like my
nowadays.
dad bought a separate rewinder so he wouldn't wear out his like $600 VCR because that's how much they cost back in the day.
Oh,
when
yeah,
they first
dude,
came
that's-
out. They were
even
expensive.
VHS tapes were expensive. That's why you rented them.
Yeah, I remember going by an 8-pack of blank ones because we were like tape wrestling and stuff. And
some of the horror VHS nowadays are going for sick prices. Like people are collecting VHSs, like the big box, like horror artwork.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's jacked up with prices. Like because I see collectors all the time on Instagram now, and I'm like, yo.
Those are expensive, yeah.
That was so cool. Some of that art on those old VHS tapes.
Oh
Hell
yeah.
That's how you picked. That's how you picked your movie half the time.
Yeah, because there was no trailer.
A lot of times it's like I never heard of this, but the cover's cool.
Right. Yeah. And then it has like the cover has like nothing to do with the movie.
Yeah.
But I still do that on Tubi. I'm like, I'm like, the cover's pretty rad. I'm like,
yeah.
That's how you. I mean, that is. That's how we pick our stuff half the time.
Oh, I was on the Trauma app, just looking around at Trauma films, and like there was like a movie like Death Toilet, and I'm like, that is like the best title or like the worst title ever. I haven't decided yet, but I'm like, I'm watching Death Toilet.
Have you watched Rubber with the tire?
No, I haven't.
Oh, dude, check that one out. It's about a tire. Yeah, killer
Was that
tire.
behind the curtain? Colin?
Killer tire.
That was behind the curtain.
Called Rubber.
Yeah.
Dude, I think the Trauma app's like $5 a month, and I get like the whole library plus like they have like a bunch of indie films, which I think is really cool for like the state of horror nowadays, because like anybody can make a film now with the technology that's out.
Dude,
like,
these fan films are amazing now.
Yeah.
Like all the Friday the 13th ones and stuff. Like I was like watching. My buddy was he like, you ever see these ones? I was like, no. So I was like, well, I watched them all one day. And I'm like, dude, those were better than the regular movies they put out.
Dude, our friend Peter Anthony, he put out Roseblood.
Yeah, that was good. That was
cool.
really good. And the Vengeance one. Vengeance 2. They're like, the way they're shot, they look so professional.
They look amazing.
There's Never Hike Alone. There's because we try to cover that too on our channel.
Yeah, Never Hike Alone was the one I was just talking about. Yeah, my buddy turned me onto it. Yeah, and I couldn't believe it. I was just like, dude, this is like professionally made.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, totally. So like and it shows now, like when you go to like Tubi or like the Trauma app, there's all these like indie films, and it's like there's every week there's like new content, and it's like there's so much stuff to watch. Like it's pretty rad.
Yeah, and Tubi being free like that, and Freevee and all these, like there's a lot on there. There really is. It's a ton. And some of them I put on and I'm like, shit, this is horrifying. I can't watch this. Yeah. But for the most part, I leave them on. They're not bad, a lot of them.
Yeah. There's some good stuff on there.
There's certain ones that are challenging to get through. I'm like, okay.
He likes some like really, really like low budget stuff. We kind of differ on.
Well, to me, there's something charming about that. I don't know what it is. Like the fact that this guy filmed this movie on his phone in his garage. And if he can make it somewhat interesting, I think that's pretty cool. Like,
I think what turns me off is like when it feels like they're reading like every word from the script. That's the part that I think that I don't like to tolerate.
What gets me though is like I'm thinking like, dude, imagine if they did have the budget. Like, like
what could they do?
Yeah.
Are you guys familiar with Peter Anthony?
No.
Peter Anthony Productions. They put out the Friday fan film Roseblood.
Okay.
And he's working on a film called Laugh now. And we reacted to the trailer on our channel. And it looks pretty dope.
It does, yeah. He's like he's doing like big like films now. So and we loved his Friday 13th fan films. So
yeah, and I was just thinking like I thought the same thing. I'm like, imagine what this guy could do. Like imagine what they could do if they had the means, like or the budget. So. A lot of these films, you got to like, they have Indiegogos, and I always try to like give what I could, or like, because I want to see
spread it around.
Yeah, or at least spread it around, because I'm like, these guys are really creative and like they have good ideas. And what about Check the Candy? They made a good film.
Oh, Devils Are We. It's like an original like film that John Turner did. It's on Check the Candy. They have a podcast too. They're really nice guys. But yeah, they did a couple of like films on their channel. I thought that they were very creative and well done too.
Yeah, that's cool.
What's coming out like in the mainstream world? Like Imaginary?
Imaginary comes out this week. Yeah.
Yeah. So
we'll probably go see that.
I want to see that.
Yeah, it's about a killer. It's like a teddy bear that's like possessed by.
I have not even heard about that one.
Oh, dude,
it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give it a chance.
Yeah, Night Swim was probably the worst movie I've ever seen in a movie theater.
What? Oh, Night Swim. I was just gonna like. I heard about it, but I didn't know. I don't really know anything about it other than just the title.
So don't waste our time on that one. You don't think?
It takes a lot for me not to like a film.
No.
If
we would have watched it at home on Tubi for free, maybe I would have been a little nicer about it. But the fact that we spent our time to pay to go see it and it was just really terrible, I was just not happy.
I feel like they just tried too hard. And I feel like if they simplified the story, it would have been just more enjoyable. It was like a possession story to like a haunted story to like I don't even know.
It felt like I don't know if you remember
the script's all over the place, and then finally it just ends, and I'm like, this reminds me of one of those films I'd find like in the Walmart discount bin,
like from the 2000s that were straight to video.
It had like a straight to video feel, and I'm like, I don't know how this wound up in the theater. I'm like, so
that's pretty bad.
Wow.
I knew nothing about it other than the name of it. I was thinking maybe it was like a shark movie or something, but
no, it's about a pool, like a haunted pool.
And I feel bad.
Oh god, that sounds terrible.
It's not, but it would be fun if it was like a Tubi, like lower budget, like that kind of movie about a killer pool. But it's like a serious, like possession type movie.
I find when people, I feel like when films aren't self-aware, like
it's not. Yeah, that one. This one isn't. So
like. The movie's about a killer pool, so I'm like, that's hilarious. I love the concept, but they're taking it seriously, and I'm like,
yeah, okay.
I'm like, you could totally make this fun. I'm like, it's about a killer pool.
Right.
That's great right there, and like they're like, oh, there's a deep haunted backstory of this, and I'm like, are you?
It was so serious.
I'm like, are you serious? I'm like,
now I kind of just need to see it just because I need to see it now.
Somebody shit and pissed in the pool, and it pissed them off forever or something.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the Shockmaster of movies.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah, I don't know. I have to. I'm glad I didn't pay like $15 a person to watch it. But
wait until it's
plus
free.
the popcorn and
what are movies nowadays? It's
what the price
to go to the movies. It's like
I don't even know.
$40 every time we go. When I buy it online, it's $40 a time.
No, but if I want like a snack or something,
that's just the tickets.
Yeah, no,
the soda's like $15 itself. Yeah.
Yeah, the
you're spending some coin. Yeah.
The popcorn and the snacks are just as much as the movie ticket, and
it's not more.
Yeah. Luckily, the manager of our theater, she likes that horror couple. She watches us, so she hooked me up with a few free passes. So
she sneaks them in the exit door.
No, she
hurry up.
She's like, yeah, sneak in the exit door. She's cool about it, but I won't say her name.
I remember, like, my friends tried to do that way back in the day, and it just never worked out. And I'm like, I don't know
dude, we used to do that all the time.
I was always scared, dude. I was like, I'm the asshole that's gonna get caught, so I just never even did. I just was like, Dad, give me the money.
Dude, you get caught, you just run and dip. You know, I mean, it's
my movie theater where I grew up, it was like part of it was an arcade. So they had like pinball and like arcade games. So we would just go up and be like, oh, we're just here to play the arcades. We play the arcades for like 10 minutes and then we would just walk into a movie. And like they wouldn't know.
Well, now you really can, because ours, like most people buy their tickets on like Fandango or whatever the ticket things are. And there's no ushers. So you can basically walk right back.
Oh,
like,
wow.
There's nobody watching it.
They have somebody that stops you at ours. They scan the phone ticket.
Again, I can't do that now. I'm a 50-year-old man. They're going to be like, this jackass tried to sneak into the movie theater. Like, so I saved the embarrassment, you know.
There was like some teenage kid just recently. He's like, I got to do a bag check.
I had like one of those lounge fly like backpacks, you know, like a lot of girls wear. And he was like, I got to check your bag. And I'm like, no.
What?
Yeah, I was like, no, you're looking at my bag.
I wouldn't let him do it. I don't know why. I was just like,
nosy
it was
pervert.
Weird.
Stay out of my bag.
It was a small bag. It wasn't huge. It was a regular, like, smaller lounge fly.
I just lied to the kid. I'm like, no, I know the manager. It's cool. He was like, okay. And I was like,
and then you're like, ha.
It just seems weird anyway.
Yeah. It does seem weird. Like,
what's up, Archer and homeless shelters? Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you. Please
Um,
subscribe to us.
and us too, while you're here.
Yeah, we need it.
And if you don't want to, then don't. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just kidding.
Oh, just do it anyway if you don't want to.
Yeah. Get over it and do it.
Hey, hit the thumbs up and stuff.
Hey, look, there's Brett too. Johnny come lately here.
Oh,
What's up, Brett?
What, yo? Did you meant to say what's up?
I don't know. He's older like me, so we don't know all the lingo, but yeah.
you don't use all the
He
all the
tried.
emojis and stuff.
Yeah.
We got to make up our own lingo.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Do I remember that shit? Like in high school, the girls would like have their own like languages and shit they'd speak. That shit was so dumb.
They
The only thing
still
I
do.
remember from high school is like
They
smelling
probably
like
do.
the girl in front of me smelled like Aquanet and cigarettes. And it was the worst combination ever. Like, cause she was a heavy metal girl, which is cool. I liked it. But she had the hair teased up in the front, like in the 90s. And then
Yeah.
she smelled like like Marlboros at the same time. So I'm like, oh, this is terrifying.
You got to take the good with the bad, you know?
I guess. Yeah, I mean, I would have taken one for the team, no doubt. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'd have been like, can you get that smell off first? The cigarettes. Like,
Oh, I was so lonely in high school. I would have banged a smelly girl.
yeah, who am I to lie? I was desperate.
Yeah,
too.
I would have been like, no, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, I don't care what you smell like. Get over here.
Yeah. It wasn't always like this. Like this came after.
Oh, okay.
If you don't believe him, just ask the people in his comments.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh man, well, it's been fun, guys. Thanks for coming by and
Yeah.
hanging
No
out,
problem.
man. Appreciate
No
it. Come back
problem.
anytime.
Yeah, you have
It
to
was
come
fun.
back on.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah. This has been a good time.
Maybe
and,
you'll give Kaylee a chance to talk next time. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I asked her about Star Wars. You started with the
Yeah,
rest.
I'm gonna talk to her. If she's into Star Wars like I think, then
We'll
that'd
have to
be
have
good-
a
that'd
part
be a good
two.
time.
We'll have to. Will be to be continued.
Part
Yeah.
you.
No, see,
Yeah.
you have these theories, like these nerd theories.
Yeah.
You're-
Well, it was just.
No, you're like Hayden would have. He wouldn't have went to the dark side if somebody
I
never
said
got.
if Qui-Gon Jinn didn't die, I would have had a more father-like figure, not a brother-type figure, and maybe he would have made a different decision. That's what I said.
Oh well,
I was just, yeah.
that's
Good
a what
argument.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Clerks. You know, like the movie Clerks when they're just breaking down the politics of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Anymore,
Oh,
there's so
yeah.
much going on Star Wars. It's like it's really hard to keep up. Like honestly,
I
I
get
can't
very
lie. Like the
confused,
timeline
yeah.
shit screws me all up.
Yeah, there's a lot I don't know. I'm just a fan. I don't know like I haven't read a lot of the books or the comics
It's
or
my-
anything like
It's
that.
my attention span that gets to me. I can't. That's why I like slashers. They're quick. They're fun.
Mhm.
Like these Marvel movies too are like 3
I
hours.
love Marvel.
I can't. do
Dude, and
it.
they made it too confusing. You
Yeah,
know,
I'm
you got to watch
confused.
every movie now. Like
I'm so lost in that
everything's
world, yeah.
intertwined. Like everybody that I talk to, that's just like a casual
Yeah.
like fan. You know, like they've given up on it. They're like, I can't. I'm so lost. Like
That's
I'm
me.
behind. Yeah.
Like
I
once
had
they
it
had like
continually-
400 Spider-Man, I'm like, I can't keep up anymore. I don't know
Right.
what to do. I'm lost.
and then they did the whole multiverse thing, and it's like, well,
Mhm.
what the fuck is going on?
I don't even know what
Like,
the hell that is. Like,
It's
what the
kind
hell?
of confusing. Yeah.
I'm like, that's too many verses for me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have to have you come back on for sure, both of you.
Oh,
yeah, for
well,
sure. Thank you so much for having
We'll
us.
definitely do
yeah.
it.
Thanks for your time. And
Of course.
Just hit
before
us
we let
up.
you get, well, hang out backstage. We'll say our goodbyes. But for now, just
You
let
wanna plug our
everybody know where they
merch?
can find you on Instagram and YouTube.
Oh, this plug our merch if you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the merch.
We got this merch store going, and a few people were cool enough to buy stuff. So we got this hat,
Oh, nice.
that horror couple hat.
I was looking at it earlier.
On there? Oh,
We got
wow.
these
Look at that.
T-shirts
Nice.
with our logo,
yeah,
and
that's cool.
Yeah, that's it.
we have another hat somewhere.
Oh.
Go get it.
Yeah, I was looking at it before we came on. I
Get
was-
it, woman.
I don't know where it is.
And hurry up. No, I'm just kidding.
Make it snappy.
Make it snappy, you see.
Where's my dinner?
Found it. Here you go.
There, we got these hats too. It's two zombies like in love.
Oh, yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
So
So
yeah,
just
check
tell
out our
tell
merch.
everybody where they can find those the merch and where they can find you guys on YouTube and Instagram and wherever else.
Yeah, we're that horror couple on YouTube. Also, we have our store link on our YouTube page next to our community tab. You just click the store tab, it'll take you right to Spread Shop, and we have stuff like this on there. And we're just that horror couple on Instagram, X, TikTok, Facebook. Am I forgetting anything? I think that's everything.
I think that's everything.
I think that's everything.
Yeah.
If you just type in that horror couple, we
type in
come
that
up.
horror couple.
Yeah.
I think
A lot of people
your-
call the horror couple, but it's that.
Yeah, but it'll still come up.
It will.
I got your links in the description too.
Oh, cool.
Oh, thank you so
I'll
much.
add
Do one of
I'll
these
add
things.
the merch link. I didn't put the merch link in there, but I'll add it.
I always like when people go like this, but it's really over here.
Yeah.
But you know what? Even funnier.
It's
Like
somewhere.
when you watch a video and they say we're going to link it right here, but then they never do.
They don't, right?
So I'm like, where the fuck is it? Like, you lied to me.
I do that. I'll be like, yeah, I'll link that down below. And then Rob will be like, did you put the link in there? And I'm like,
Nope.
Yep.
No.
Kaylee's my editor, by the way. She does like all the work for the channel. And
Oh, so you get off easy.
yeah, no, I
He's just like this. He's like,
He's the personality.
I just tell dick jokes.
Oh yeah.
She
Well, that's the most important part, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it adds to it. But Kaylee, that's what pisses me off about the trolls though, is because Kaylee has to read it. I can care less, but like, because Kaylee works. There was the last video you did. It took 4 hours.
No, it took a whole day.
Oh,
It
did
took
it?
A whole day, yeah.
Yeah,
It's okay.
She's
give her
very
credit where credit's due.
Yeah,
The whole
she's very,
day.
I'm very meticulous, yeah. I try to be at least. But.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so Kaylee's doing good though, and so check out our videos. We do Walking Dead, we do trailer reactions, we do movie reviews, and yeah, we just talk horror like we did tonight.
Gnarly. Yeah, that was a good time. Thanks again.
Thank you guys.
I want to thank you for having us for sure.
Definitely come back on and stick around. We'll say goodbye backstage.
Okay.
Thanks everybody in the chat for showing up.
We got backstage passes with groupies and stuff.
Yeah, they're groupies now.
Yeah, no, there's gonna be picks.
For now,
Yeah.
that's what effing figures, and we'll see you next week.
Take care.